Good morning, everyone. In this video, we will learn how to sketch the graph for absolute value function. You can see here in this picture that we express the absolute value like as a valley. We have here the points in the top, -1, 0, 7, 0, and here the point in the bottom, which is 3, -2. We will try now to go back to this after we finish explaining some of the basic information about how to graph this function, which is f of x equal 2x minus 6, absolute value of 2x minus 6 minus 8. Let's go. So in this question, sketch the absolute value function f of x equal 2x minus 6 minus 8. Which features of the graph is not correct? So let's start first with the graph, graphing the function. F of x equal to 2x minus 6 minus 8. Okay, now let's decide first the vertex. So if you follow me with the question number 2, maybe you will expect that the vertex will be like 6 and 8. But remember here the value of the coefficient for the x is not 1, it is 2. So to find the vertex, we need to do something extra. So I expect from you to watch video for the question number 2 first, so you know exactly what I was talking about. Okay, so now let us find the vertex. For the vertex, we need to take the 2x minus 6 like equal to 0. And now we need to find the value of x. Using algebra, we can use the first of adding 6 and adding 6. And this step in algebra, we call it like add or addition property of equity. So we can here cancel the 6 with the 6 because 6 minus 6 is 0. So we end up now with a 2x. We take the 2x down equal. Okay, now 0 plus 6 equals 6. The next step is dividing by 2 and dividing by 2. And actually, we call this property here as division property of equity. We can cancel the 2 with the 2 because 2 divided by 2 is 1. We take the x down equal to 6 divided by 2. So we are talking about 6 divided by 2, which is equal to 3. So we found now the value of x that makes what inside the absolute value as 0. Next step, we can use now what we learned before as something like this. We can see that c, so we have plus c equal to plus, but we have it here as negative. So to make it here negative, we need negative. So positive times negative will equal to negative. I said here like this, positive, negative together. When we multiply it, we end up with a negative. So we are on the right track. So we have like here negative 8. So finally, we take the vertex like this, 3 and negative 8. So here is the conclusion now. That the vertex will be like 3 and negative 8. Okay, so we write down the vertex as 3, negative 8. Now to use the graph, or to find the graph, we can do something like this. I can use the paper for the graph. Maybe it will be better, and I will enlarge it like this, so to make it clear for you guys. So for the graph, what we need exactly is to write or to draw the y-axis, and then here is the x-axis. Okay, so what we have here is the y-axis, and here we have the x-axis. Let's start with the vertex first. So we have 1, exactly, we have here 1, then 2, then 3, and then going down 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7, reaching to the negative 8. So the point will be here. As 3 and negative 8. Let me try now to extend the graph or the y-axis like this. Okay, so we have here the point. Here is 3, negative 8 as the vertex. Okay, now looking at the graph, studying the graph carefully, you can see that in this graph, or in this function, here is the value before the x-axis. There is no value, so we expect for this value to be 1, and here is the positive 1. That means that the graph will be open up like this. So we here have the minimum value for this function. Okay, so the graph will be open up. So I can start roughly, as I said, roughly like this, and roughly like this. Okay, but before I keep going, the graph will keep going from this side, reaching to the point here on the x-axis. And here the graph will reach to the graph on the y-axis with a point, and there is another point that the graph will reach to the graph on the x-axis. Okay, any point on the x-axis here, it will be something like x and 0, because this point is not going up or down on the y-axis, so it will be x0. The same thing here, it will be negative x0, because here is the value, I expect the value to be negative. In this value, in this point, we have 0, we start from 0, going down on the negative y direction, it will be negative y direction. So to find exactly this point, we can use the function. So the function is absolute value of 2x minus 6 minus 8. We take this down. So here is the function. So the function is f of x equal to 2x minus 6 minus 8. Let us start now with the first point, which is 0. When y is equal to 0, because we are talking about the absolute value, so we need to be careful that first we need to take it like this. So 2x minus 6 minus 8 equal 0. And here is 2x, okay, minus 6 minus 8, which is minus 14, equal to 0. Now 2x equal to 14. We can divide by 2. We can divide by 2. We reach up to the x equal 7. So the point here is 7, 0. Okay, we don't need this side now. Okay, by the definition, the absolute value also, we need to take something different, which is like negative 2x minus 6 minus 8 equal 0. I'm trying now to find this value here because I'm taking now the negative side. So now we have like negative 2x plus 6 minus 8 equals 0. Now 6 minus 8, which is negative 2, we have negative x, subtract 2 equal 0, and then negative 2x equal 2. Here is the y. We can divide by negative 2. We can divide by 2. And then negative 2 will cancel with negative 2. We end up with the x equal here over negative 2. So 2 divided by negative 2 equal negative 1. In this case, the value here is negative 1 and 0. Okay, what's about this point? This point, when the x here is equal 0, so we are talking about the x equal 0 as here. The x equals 0. Let's start with this one. I don't need all that. So we will try now to find as x equals 0. So the function again is equal to absolute value of 2x minus 6 minus 8. Now f of 0, then absolute value 2, 0 minus 6 minus 8, close the absolute value. Now 2 times 0, 0, minus 6 is absolute value of minus 6 minus 8. Now absolute value of minus 6 equals 6 minus 8, which is equal to the minus 2. Okay, so we can here reach to that this value is 0, negative 2. So we have the vertex as 3, negative 8. Here's the x value here is 7, so this point is 7, 0. We have negative 1, 0, and we have 0, negative 2. So we reach to the graph, to the roughly graph for this absolute value. Going back to this drawing, you see now this is the vertex, which is like we reach to the 3, negative 8. Here is the 7, 0, which is the x-intercept, and there is another x-intercept which is negative 1, 0, and here we have the 0, negative 2 on the y-axis. So after we reach to this graph, let us go now to the options. So here talking about minimum. Do we have minimum? Yes, because at the end of this question, we reach to the point that this is the lowest point. So here we are talking about the lowest point. So in this case, this is the lowest point, and we call it exactly the minimum. So is the minimum is like here 3, negative 6? That's not true. The vertex here is a 3, negative 8, so option A is not right. Now x-intercept, do we have x-intercept as 7, 0? That's absolutely right. If we are look carefully here, we can see that here is the 0.70. That's correct. So I expect that to be the right answer. Now the y-intercept here is the 0, negative 2. That's also correct, because here we have the y-intercept as 0, negative 2, and the x-intercept is like negative 1, 0. Yes, we have x-intercept as x, negative 1, 0. So this one is the only option that is not right. If you look carefully at the question, you can see which key feature of the graph is not correct. So I'm not trying now to find the correct answer. Yes, B, C, D correct answers, but the option A is not correct, and this is what I need to choose for this question. That's correct. So sometimes you need to be careful when you solve the problem. So maybe you reach to the answer, but reading the question will be very important. For example, as we said here for this question is asking about the graph is not correct. So here the word not will change your direction to choose the right answer. So the right answer is A, not B, not C, not D. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hope that you learned something about how to sketch the absolute value function and how to be careful in reading the question sometimes, so to reach to the right answer when you have some kind of questions. See you guys in next videos. Let us make the math easy and funny, and we will keep pushing and we will learn together. Thank you guys. See you later.